Hi, welcome to the Australian Botanical Gardens. Now, the last time that we did this, we went to a botanical gardens, Sydney National Botanical Gardens, which is in the middle of the city, right next to the harbour. This place is like on the complete other side of the city, and it is so much bigger than I expected. Like, I genuinely can't fathom how big it is. I feel like it's bigger than both Sydney Botanical Gardens and New York Botanical Gardens combined. You know, I actually went back to the Sydney Botanical Gardens a couple of weeks ago because the last time I went there, I told you guys that I didn't take any selfies and y'all got mad at me. So of course, this time I went there, took some selfies, and I also forgot to tell you guys what my favorite plant was back in that botanical garden. And honestly, when I went there, I was thinking about filming another video to start it off there and finishing it off here. But I decided to live in the moment and I didn't whip my camera out. But anyways, from the other garden, I would say it was probably the mangrove trees that we saw, which looked really cool. Like, it looked like a tree out of a video game, that one. But yeah, with that said, let's go explore this garden. These are probably the most dangerous birds in Australia. I wonder what this is. So apparently I'm supposed to be at a bird hide, but all I see is lawn mowing. Honestly, the lawn mowing probably scared the birds away. But the walk to the bird hide was really pretty. Okay, so this is interesting because as I was exploring, I just came upon this little sign, which is a memorial to the kids of the Stolen Generation. Now, the Stolen Generation was a very dark part of Australian history where Aboriginals or Native Australians were forcibly taken from their families to assimilate with white culture. And that's just heartbreaking and horrible. Now, I won't get too much into the history of the Stolen Generation or everything, but do rewind, give that a read. But what I will do is go through a walk through this memorial area. These are just some heartbreaking and, if you think about it, horrifying reflections. Okay, so we made it to this beautiful sculpture that commemorates the people affected by the Stolen Generation. There's a lot to unpack about the sculpture. This sculpture is about a family losing their child. You can see the sculpture that the child has his fist clamped, which represents that he doesn't want to go away from his family, that he's forcibly been taken. And I'll show you this in a second because there are footprints on the ground as well. On one side, the small footprints represent the child being taken away, and then there are larger footprints showing the child returning back home to their country to find their people. Now, thinking that this happened in a country as beautiful as Australia, where everyone is usually so accepting and so nice towards one another, is just heartbreaking. And to think that it doesn't also happen around the world is also really heartbreaking. There's so many people who just aren't as privileged as us, who's getting displaced from their home, their communities and all that, and we just never seem to realize it. And sometimes it also just feels like there's nothing you can do about it, or we just ignore it. It is definitely something you gotta reflect on, and it is definitely something that you gotta think on as well. But yeah, I won't pry about this too much. This is a beautiful sculpture with a beautiful meaning behind it, and as people, we should stand up for what's right and speak up if we see injustice. Okay, well now, I'm currently in my car and I drove up to the next little place that we wanted to see because this place is massive. Unlike the other botanical gardens that I've been to, this place, you don't really walk everywhere. You have to drive up every now and again to get to the next place you want to go. But yeah, I'll give it this. Even though those other places are a lot more walkable, I feel like I can take a lot more rests over here because I get to come into my car and chill before I go back out. So it's a different sort of fun. Anyways. Alright, let's see what this is about now. Okay, I don't know why, but I thought this was gonna be like one of those greenhouses in New York where there's like a whole bunch of plants everywhere. But it's not. This is more like a research facility and like theaters and stuff where you do functions and meetings. There's like walls and stuff of information of different types of plants and different sorts of botanical sciences and everything. And yeah, there's nothing more than that. You can see inside a few labs, but I'm really scared to take a video. I'm honestly just scared to make noise in here at the moment. Okay, I just bumped into someone and I asked them if I can take a film of what's going on inside the lab. So they said yes. So I got consent. Okay, I am out of there. That was stressful being in there. Oh my god, I felt like I was back in class. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so I'm just assuming this is the herbarium, and these are just more laboratories where I probably should not stick my nose in. But yeah, I guess I can admire the architecture or something. So, I actually found the Botanical Gardens. You know, I actually feel so dumb. As much as everything we just saw is a part of the gardens, I almost for a second believed that we weren't going to be seeing the classical Botanical Gardens that we've been seeing this entire time. Yeah, so let's go see what this is about. I don't know, that just kind of gave me Black Eyed Susan vibes. So a sculpture of one flower wasn't enough because there are two. This is the second one. Okay, so I'm walking and I'm at this area called the Connection Gardens, where it's like billions of years of plants in one place. Every botanical gardens has this, but the moment I walked in here, the first plant that I see is such a weird looking plant. Like, it actually looks prehistoric. We also got this thing like growing off a bark in the wall. Bro, this is actually fascinating. Man, imagine living like millions of years ago when plants actually look like this. Alright, we got the most fascinating spiders. Okay, we made it up here to somewhere, but I want to go up there, but it's closed, unfortunately. That was a really fun walk. I'm gonna admit that. This place is awesome. Now, I'm gonna stick to what I said at the start. This is a humongous botanical gardens. I still think it's way bigger than the two other ones that I've been to in New York and in Sydney. But with that, I'm also going to admit, at first I thought this place was a little bit boring. It seemed a lot more dull than other botanical gardens, which is weird because botanical gardens are normally very colorful and everything. But then, like I said, I felt stupid for not realizing that I wasn't at the main part of the garden. But when I got here, my God, this is beautiful. This is absolutely awesome. This is so nice. There are so many cool plants, there's so many monuments, there's so many sculptures and everything. It is such a beautiful place. And I think the size of this place just makes it even better because there's so much more to see over here. But yeah, with that said, let's continue. Let's go see what else there is to see. So I just reached the peak of the Connection Gardens because this is a hill going up, and oh my God, it is beautiful up here. You really do feel like you're at the top of the world when you're up here. Oh my god, it is so nice. All my close friends who know me, who know anything about me, knows that this is the area that I do eventually want to move to in my life if I do continue living in Sydney. And just looking at it from over here just puts the icing on the cake. It's just like, wow, if you live here, your life is set. But yeah, I guess the next step is to make $1 million. Okay, this is just a random fact that I want to share with you that I learned a couple of weeks ago. And it's because I just saw the moon up in the sky and it's daytime over here. Now, taking away the uncontrollable variables like air pollution and clouds and all that, the time of the day you see the moon is also dependent on the percentage of the moon that you can see. So like, for example, if you see a half moon, it is 50% possible that you'll see the moon during the day or at nighttime. Compared to when you see a crescent moon where it's like, where only like 20% of the moon is visible, that would mean you see the moon like 20% during the day and 80% during the night. It's probability, it's chances. I hope I explained that well. I found it fascinating. Okay, so I'm on the other side of the garden now and we're at a really high place again. And if you look hard enough, you can see the tall buildings of Sydney City from over here. The camera doesn't really get it that nicely, but I can see it really nicely and vibes, bruh, vibes. The sundial is very far up a hill and I am honestly really tired now getting there, but I can see it, it's just up there. So let's head there. Alright, made it up here. Also, honestly, what a view from up here too. Okay, just one more time, just to highlight this again. The view is absolutely beautiful. I love it. So I'm walking down to the Waddle Garden. It's another picnic area. And then I just looked over and I realized how high we actually were. Boy, am I glad I got a car at the moment. This is really cute. I have definitely come to this place at the wrong time of the year right now because wattles are very much so spring and summer plants, and right now it's like towards the end of autumn, starting of winter for all you Americans. So I'll show you what's here, but I'll also try to show you what it looks like during peak time. No entry, this area is closed for maintenance. Why would I enter there anyway? Okay, no, I was very wrong. Wattles are winter flowers that produce seeds in summer. I guess we still got a month or two till we see this place filled with wattles. You know, I heard statistically that no matter where you are in Australia, you are never more than 50 meters away from a spider. But yeah, take that fact with a grain of salt. I actually don't know, but I 100% believe it. You know, I think I can see some wattle growing on this tree. Oh yeah, fun fact, the golden wattle is the national flower of Australia. Jackpot, I actually found some wattle. Okay, now we're gonna go to the Banksia Garden next, so let's see what we find there. Okay, so this is another picnic area, but you have no idea how glad I am that the Banksia Garden has actual Banksias. Okay, this is the last place we're gonna kinda explore. This is the Lakeside and Lawns, and this is like your little picnic area that you see in every other botanical gardens as well. Now this place was really cool, I am not going to deny that. The Connections Garden was awesome. That little walk for the Connection Gardens where there are so many cool plants, and when you get to the top you can see all of the surrounding suburbs and such a cool view. That was really cool. That sundial was also really cool. And all those little picnic areas, I absolutely love them. Now I am going to say that I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get to see any golden wattles or like any wattles altogether. This is the second time I've come to a botanical gardens in Australia and I don't see our national flower. The irony, I swear. According to the website, this is what it's supposed to look like at like peak blooming season, but I guess I just came at the wrong time of the year. And of course I have to mention the Stolen Generation Memorial. That was also absolutely beautiful. But I said this at the start of the video as well. This place is absolutely massive. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I actually came here 2 days to film this entire thing. What happened was the first day I came here to film, my camera ran out of battery. Now, even though I've been here for 2 days, there were still a lot of tracks and trails that I did skip. As much as I do want to do them, I don't think they would make for good videos because it's just, that's all it is. It's just a track or a trail, or all you're doing is walking and absorbing everything that's around you. But yeah, again, this is like a really big place. Like, if I think about it, I feel like this would be a great place to run a marathon. There's a bird coming at me. What even is this bird? Okay, no, but anyways, that's where I'll end this video. I had a great time. This is a beautiful place. It's so serene. I have not been disappointed by any botanical gardens I've been to yet. Oh yeah, favorite plant. What was my favorite plant? I really wish I can say the golden wattle, but you barely saw that over here. So I'm gonna go with that cabbage looking thing at the start of the Connection Gardens. I don't know what it is. There was no name for it displayed like for other plants. But yeah, that's what I'll call it. Thank you guys very much for watching. If this is something that you like, I do plan on doing a couple of more videos at botanical gardens throughout the year. That's something that I set out to do this year. So make sure you drop a sub so you don't miss out on that and catch up with everything else that I do as well. But otherwise, make sure you're always being the best version of yourself. But yeah, you all take care. From the river to the sea, let's set Palestine free. Bye-bye.